In the heart of rural Wiltshire in the summer of 1991, a unique week-long event unfolded in the tiny village of Box. The leisurely pace of English country life and its simple pleasures was shaken gently by unexpected visitors. The well-preserved delights of the village cricket match and the smack of ball on bat were joined by the insistent rhythms of other equally strange traditions. In a converted watermill close to the main line of Isambard Kingdom Brunel's Great Western Railway, the real-world studios of rock star Peter Gabriel played host to some 75 musicians and producers from around the globe. The main aim of Real World Recording Week was to record 8 albums in 7 days, an ambitious project in itself, but also to encourage the musicians from countries as diverse as China, Tanzania, North America, Russia, Colombia and Korea to forge a variety of partnerships.
No, the thumb for those two, or for these two, and then this finger pulls down there.
The idea of these collaborations grew out of the festivals organised by Womad.
We go to Switzerland tomorrow,
yeah?
Only me and my band.
So is today the only day you're here this week?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a pity, but...
It is a pity.
About 1980, I started listening to music from many other countries, and I got to know a group of friends, really, or acquaintances, who were beginning to share some of this enthusiasm. And there was very little available in the shops. It was very hard to hear this music. And we thought it would be great to see if we could create some sort of event where you could bring in a lot of these artists from around the world. And so that was really the conception of Womad. How many people do we get in here?
We can get, I think we can get about 600. We're aiming for 400.
Every year, all these different musicians come together from many countries and start playing with each other, sort of spontaneously, just around the sites and around the touring buses and so on. And we thought it would be great if this time, instead of just letting that flow into the wind, we should actually grab them all here, record them, and create a lot of situations where people could interact together.
Radio 1's Andy Kershaw entertains doubts about the outcome of these cross-cultural experiments.
I have to see how these collaboration things work out. You know, I'm not entirely easy about the idea of those. You know, I can't really see any reason why there should be any compatibility between a group from Colombia and a group from Tanzania, or whoever gets together with who. These things sometimes can sound fine on paper, but they can be a frightful mess once they're on tape.
It's too early to know if Kershaw's doubts are justified. For their part, the musicians are keen. Kim Duk-soo of the Korean band Samul Nori, for example, is animated by the prospect of this collision of cultures.
He believes that the basic purpose of the past 35 years of his life has been to effect this meeting between between East and West, and therefore being here is a very, very natural extension of his entire lifestyle. What Samul Nori has done today is part of a rather ancient tradition, but something that's still practiced today. It's called Chishin Palki, which means treading the earth. And in essence, it's letting the local spirits know that you're here and that there are many important events involved in your being here. And he said, for example, Womad's right in the middle of their festival season, and we're on the first day of our recording for Real World Records. And therefore, we have all these important events coming up, and we want everything to turn out well. So we just let whatever spirits are around know that we're here.
There are a variety of working and recording facilities on offer at Real World. Some artists recorded their live performances at the gala concert, which rounded off the week's work. Here, the villagers of Box were treated to an all-star show in a marquee on the studio lawn.
I maybe take the dog to the walk.
One of the artists that chose to record part of his music at the gala was Ayub Ogada. Ayub is a traditional musician from the Luo tribe in Kenya and plays an instrument called the Niatiti.
It's a lyre. We carved the bowl out of fig tree, and the arms made from eucalyptus. The strings are fishing line, and the cow skin from the back part of the cow's neck, not a bull. My music is based upon traditional stuff, but I write all my own. My experiences are very different. My experience is not 100% traditional. Got a lot of additions to the culture from the kind of life I've led. Each performance is different, as each day is different. So when I get up there to play, the songs may vary slightly depending on my experience for the day previous to that particular performance.
The first alliance of the week is between Ayub and the Senegalese drummer Arona, who adds his own incisive percussion to Ayub's melodies.
He just played some fantastic drums on one of my songs.
No, me.
Without even a rehearsal, that's what happened.
First take?
First take.
He didn't really play that much to start.
I really like what I'm hearing. It's great.
Great, I'm glad.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to hear the next track. So the feel is very, very gentle and very rhythmic.
That's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, that's great. That's
The Real World studios were built to create what Gabriel calls a marriage of handmade and high-tech, making sophisticated studio technology available to artists usually unable to gain access to it. During the recording week, the facilities were used by the Womad festival artists.
The festival thing is now built to where this group of artists travels around together in 14 countries, and so that this sense of community builds up on the road with these artists for the first time saying, "Oh, that melody is just like our old folk song," and there are all these common elements, and to get that sense of improvisation and jamming, which happens on all of those festival tours, into the studio. This is the first time we've tried to do that. Now, there's some chords you had on here, right? Because was another secret.
To cope with so many diverse musicians, Gabriel enlists several producers to help supervise the recordings. Carl Wallinger of World Party is to work alongside Gabriel in his personal studio. He's helping give form to the cross-pollination of ideas.
You know, I've sort of been joint chairs of this room up here, and it's wonderful for me to have someone else taking some responsibility there.
I get the feeling that he really wants a song to come out of this. Something that works in its own right in the same way that's, you know, like a number, you know. A number you can like lean on the lamppost at the corner of the street listening to wafting out of a cafe and like stand there chewing gum to and think, you know, yeah, that's okay, you know. Rather than it being, I mean, we want a song, you know. I think he very much wants to try and find a song, you know, out of all this thing, rather than just having the groove. It's easy in a way to lay down tracks with everybody on them, but to make something that makes sense, like I said, it'd be nice if it came out of Radio 1 and sort of made sense to a lot of people, you know.
Wallinger and Gabriel were assisted by sound engineer Dave Bottrell.
You hear something like this, right? You hear something like this, which is a certain groove, and then you hear it a certain way, and you'll interpret it and play, but the whole soup of that will become like a stew, and like an ethnic stew.
It's idea.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
And hopefully, when these other rhythms are done, you can start some rhythms for other people to build on top of as well.
They begin with a rhythm track created by the percussion of Senegal's Arona and a melodic riff from Madagascar's Ross.
Well, Sarah was just, suggesting also to try like a slower thing. Ross I knew nothing about until about 3 months ago, and then there's this TV program on Madagascar that was sort of the introduction to me of him and his music. But I love what he does. I think he's a great writer too. And some of the instruments, you know, like this bamboo harp that he made himself, a beautiful sounding thing, you know, exquisite. And I mean, it gives us a sense of privilege, you know, we can have the earning capacity just to go out and buy the instruments that we want, and there they are making the instruments out of bamboo and getting sounds every bit as beautiful as that which we get. And I think, you know, he's definitely going to be someone to watch, I think.
I played Valia and Kabosi. Vali is a bamboo harp from Madagascar, made with bamboo, and the strings are basically break cable.